Hey guys, I'm just going to talk about some simple basic tools that you might need or would end up using if you're getting into RC helicopters and have to work on them at some point. If you're going to get into helicopters, you're going to crash them, you're going to have to work on them. First thing I would like to show you is hex wrenches. I'm sure most of you have a few sets of hex wrenches at your house. If you don't, get as many different brands as you can. The more you pay, the better quality, but you can get some cheap ones, different places like RC Heli or whatever. But you want to make sure that you get all metric, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 4, 5, 6 millimeters. You want to get the millimeter sizes metric, get at least 2 of each size, because oftentimes you're going to be turning, say like a feathering shaft, you'll be turning one way and turning another way, trying to break it loose. Otherwise, if you're just turning one, you've got the thing spinning by itself, and that's not good. You're not getting anywhere. So get lots of metric hex wrenches. On top of that, if you get a set, you're usually going to get these anyways. Plenty of Phillips and flathead screwdrivers. Just basic screwdrivers. Sometimes you can find some at the hardware store that have interchangeable heads. It will have the Phillips and the flathead. You're also going to need plenty of these, so keep those around. Also, different sets will come with different additional things. Get anything to turn any size, nut necessary as well. So, one other very important tool, ball link removers. Gotta get these, at least one set, preferably 2. I've seen, this is a really good one, but I've had thin ones here where the ends break off, and when you don't have one of these, it's really annoying trying to just use needle nose pliers to pull your ball links, your links off the balls. If you're ever curious how to use one of these, you have a link on here. It's perfect. You need to pull it off. Just slide it under, click it, and it pops the ball link right off. It's really handy, especially when you're in the field and you're trying to do some trimming of your helicopter blades or whatever. Just pop those right off. This is also a great tool when you combine it with this little thingy. When you get a set, you might find that you'll get one of these for turning the ball links. And if you've ever built a kit from scratch, the least fun part of that is turning the ball links. So it's great with this and this, the ball link clippers. Just hold that in place. There's this little hole here. Turn right here. It's a nice, easy way to screw the ball links together without killing your thumbs. Because doing that with your thumbs, otherwise, it's just a big pain and hurts your fingers. So, we've got these tools. Another thing, if your link is too tight, see this one on here is moving just about perfect, nice and loose. But sometimes it'll be tight, they don't want to turn, you gotta force a little bit. Use one of these little guys. Also comes with a kit usually, but you can buy it separately. Ball link reamer. Get in there, ream it out, kind of push against the edges, turn it left, turn it right, try to ream out that ball link to get it nice and loose so it can turn. But you don't want to overdo that. If you get it to where you pull on it and it comes off too easily, then you've reamed out too much and you got to use another ball link. So you want to keep extra ball links around when you can. Needle nose pliers, you're going to need these, and I'd recommend getting at least a couple sets. Nice narrow ones are great. You're going to drop pieces in between a frame and try to have to grab it, and these things are great, especially if you're working on a smaller helicopter and screwing in servos and the back of it is some piece of plastic. You got to hold it in place. screwed in there. Best way to get around that sort of situation is just build one side of the frame, give yourself access, and then put everything together and put on the second part of the frame. Wrenches, you're going to need some extra torque on turning something. I know I often have to do this sort of situation just to get a certain amount of torque on one of my hex screws that's on too tight with thread lock. Speaking of thread lock, you want to keep at least the red, green, and blue thread lock around. Read the instructions on whatever the recommendations usually are in the instructions on what kind of thread lock to use. Usually on metal, you want to use these. This red stuff will keep it really tight, so be wary of when you're going to use that. Also, for grabbing stuff, if you lose parts, be sure to have some nice pliers. I'm trying to find my smaller ones here, but a couple sets of pliers just to grab smaller things whenever you drop them in between a frame or whatever. Good knife, you'll use it. Not that this is a good knife, it's a kitchen knife, but as an example. I'm going to keep lots and lots of super glue around, CA. You're always going to need that. Any kind of grease, lubrication, great stuff is Tri-Flow lubricant. You're going to need these eventually when you get into cutting wires and doing stuff. You're going to need some wire cutters. Great pair of scissors, always necessary, cutting the bags open. Calipers. You need a set of calipers. Digital calipers are definitely the way to go, but you need them to, measure the size of your ball links and match them against whatever it says in the instruction manual. So be sure to get all those things. Clippers. You're going to need some wire cutters to cut all those zip ties. Putting those zip ties in there and taking them on and off. Speaking of which, make sure you keep zip ties around. There's another great set of needle nose pliers and some more stuff. Seriously, you're going to need thin needle nose pliers to get all the stuff that you drop. And that looks like it's about it for now.